Pastorelas have had a place in our country since the Viceroy era. Their objective was to explain to the regional inhabitants the mysteries of the Eucharist and aspects of the Catholic religion. It is said that in 5th century, the first decent representation of the birth of Jesus was made in Mexico. The first to perform it were the Franciscans, whose bishop of New Spain was Fray Juan de Zumárraga, who issued an ordinance for its celebration.
The first pastorela written on stage in Mexico was La Adoración de los Reyes Magos, written by Fray Andrés de Olmos in 1550. It is to recognize that this saint was written in Nahuatl to facilitate the connection with the natives. In this way, a better interconnection will be achieved between the objective of the pastorela and the individuals who were invited to learn more about it. Years later, and according to experts, the writer Joaquín Fernández de Lizardi, known as the Mexican thinker, wrote in 1818 his pastorela or La Noche Más Venturosa, which became one of the most represented works in Mexican scenarios. This was a form of change towards the old pastorelas. Science and innovation was sought, however, the sense of the same was not affected.
The pastorelas over the years have been interpreted from different areas. It is thus how to recognize that these saints have taken directions, achieving the creation of different types of pastorelas, which are
Christmas pastorela. On the other hand, the Christmas pastorela are the most represent signs, with interact with the church being the most use of the represent of the width of baby Jesus.
religious pastorela. Although the Christmas pastorela can also be considered a religious pastorela, it is not mentioned on this occasion because, in this section, a series of issues that involve theological and very their sacramental teachings are included.
School pastorela are written and performed especially to dress children audience, i.e. children in dress school environment.
Musical pastorela. As its name indicates, it is a type of composition in which the pastorela would include the participation of musical instruments for its reading and representation.
Historical pastorela is mainly characterized by the type of content they develop since it included self-historical events and events of great importance and that were decisive in the formation of communication or other chains.
Romantic pastorela. It is one of the oldest and most important types of pastorela, since it dates the origin of this literary sojourn, focused on the theme of love and romance, especially between the surfers and the knight.
As already mentioned, in 1530, Fray Juan de Zumárraga, first bishop of New Spain, issued the ordinance to celebrate a farsa la Natividad Gozosa de Nuestro Salvador, first of the joyful nativity of your Savior. From these principles, extremates and colloquials have been written initially by the Franciscans, who were the first to arrive in New Spain. The same research note that other religious order followed a little later. Later, with lay authors, Christmas pastorelas moved away from the religious content to acquire a more popular character of Christmas in Mexico, reflecting customs and ways of life of the social classes, and local versions were also given, forming reuse a form of identity found through the representation of pastorelas.
Although the Virgin Mary, Saint Joseph, and the child Jesus are usually present as figures of the natives, in some pastorelas are people who characterize them. The characters that have been represented through the years and have not been affected are the following: pastors, devils, angels, and archangels. Finally, it can be observed that in the 20th century, the cultural language of the writer Fernández de Lizardi was changed for more popular expression. closer to the people and the political social criticism. Therefore, several critics observe that in this way it is recognized that the pastorelas have been affected by the new modernized thinking of men. Because of these many aspects previously used are often changed or altered to achieve a better attention to the public. Thus, as the pastorelas today are recognized for being very useful to help children to true meaning of the preparation that we the believers make during Advent.
To conclude, we can mention how the pastorelas are a tradition in Mexican culture that represent us as a country. This event that converges the whole society is not only a representation, but it is a form of historical and theological identity about the birth and life of Jesus, which is a symbol of faith for the entire Mexican population. Preserving these traditions will allow us to strengthen the culture as something privileged and unique, which will help individuals to maintain a cultural approach where the ideas of the past prevail, to turn them into aspects that highlight the current society from a modernized environment. The pastorelas today have been reforming and adding qualities that make them grow in various aspects, such as songs and carols. These are actions that are forming the Christmas holidays with a sense of greater identity, growth, and harmony, making an aspect that was created from the past can have a great impact on your day-to-day.